You know, if the game goes late, and they don't really dominate early, it would not shock me to see... Oh, looks like a...
Prepare for battle.
While spectating. Oh,
Get that buttery smooth scroll in LD. It's got to be smooth.
I'm gonna count here because as we were talking about, I will have to host the Summit 3 lobbies later, so looking forward to that. But
good guy LD saving the Summit.
Multitasking time, man. I'll be truly tested today.
All right, let's introduce some rosters here. Radiant side, we've got LGD. MMY will be on his Wisp here today. He'll be joining Yao in the off lane on the Bristleback. Maybe we'll be on the TA, most likely headed to the mid lane, and that leaves us with a dual lane in the safe lane, Sylar on the Razor. That puts Xiao 8 on the Shadow Shaman.
30 seconds.
It's going to be a good lane for the Razor, as we kind of expected, as we've talked about. And, well, on the side of LGD-GAMING, we'll introduce them now. Super on the Sniper. Fenrir, your Lion. FY the Witch Doctor. Going offlane will be Iceman himself, iceiceice on the Timbersaw, and Hal will be playing your safe lane Storm. Now, the last time these two teams faced, LGD-GAMING in Star Ladder did knock them down to the lower bracket 2-1, so they had the upper hand last time. I don't know if it'll be an easy win here for LGD, but they have shown they're capable of taking down Vici, even though I imagine Vici is probably favored coming into the match.
Yeah. So Sniper mid, I think it's safe to assume Super will have a pretty good time, even if he gets off to a slow start. We saw yesterday what this guy can do on the Sniper with just a little bit of space in that mid game. I'm actually more afraid of what Hal's going to do on this Storm Spirit. I think there's pretty much no way he doesn't get at least an okay amount of farm. And safe lane Storm can be pretty scary against this lack of crowd control. Aside from the Hex, I mean, I just don't see anything stopping Hal from really going crazy after this laning stage starts to wrap up.
No, it's a game where the only hero that can shut him down is arguably a 5-position support in the Shadow Shaman, maybe a 4, but you know, that's where maybe they bait the Storm in. And to be fair, early to mid game, Storm's mana pool is hardly limitless. You go in aggressively, which Hal is known for, and you may not have a whole lot of mana for the escape route. So Bristle, the kind of hero that can run him down. But as it goes later and later, if this turns into a 40, 50, 60-minute game, or you know, even 30-plus minutes, for sure they are going to struggle to deal with this Storm.
So Radiant safe lane, Xiao 8 will do a pull through. Looks like iceiceice does not have any wards down blocking the pull camp or anything like that, so he will just move over, try and leech what XP he can. Already finds his level 2. It is a 3-1-1 from LGD-GAMING, whereas LGD doing the 2-1-2 here, like you talked about. It's probably off this more about this off lane for LGD. Bristle, a hero that if they man up on him with a Wisp backing him up, 2v3 can actually be winnable for the Wisp Bristle. So I think this is the lane that'll kind of make it or break it for LGD.
Ice.
Whoa.
Just gonna feed a first blood bottom.
Yeah. Got the very tail end of it and was okay.
He just tanked a bunch of Ether Shocks. As I mentioned, the Ether Shock is a very strong lady nuke. It's a bit underrated, I think.
Yeah.
Although it's not the most spammable one later on as you level it up, but he just got caught off guard by that, plus a plasma field. Took too much damage, and you know, after he ends up giving away a first blood as an off-lane Timber, where this is a hard lane, and I do think that Timber struggles, but it's not that hard where he should be dying this early. Just a little bit overeager. It almost seemed like he wasn't reacting. Perhaps some lag, or you know, just was looking at other lanes for a quick moment there, and ends up costing him his life.
Yeah, he even went this more defensive build. First point, Timber Chain grabs the reactive armor, and here level 3 he gets Timber Chain once more. So now it should be pretty impossible to kill this guy unless there's some sort of a smoke rotation or something like that, now that he's got that huge Timber Chain range.
So the Wisp did make a move back towards the top rune and then over towards the Ancients to maybe stack them, but those Ancients are warded right now. They've got a Dire Observer ward there blocking things out, and looking towards our mid lane, so far so good for the TA. Sitting at a pretty comfy 13-2. One of the few heroes that can do well against the Sniper early on, though. I mean, eventually, when the TA hits 6, there's some kill potential on Sniper, but you still have to worry about Shrapnel. Very quickly removes the refraction, and already we're going to see Super just start to lay into maybe here, as there's a big rumble top.
And Yao, he's going to be on the run. He's hexed up. They actually have the damage for this, though. Instead, they'll turn on to MMY. The right choice. It's Fenrir that finds the kill on Wisp. Now Yao on the run. Does have some stick charges. And it looks like that'll be enough to stay alive, at least for now. Turns around some sticky damage going to House. He doesn't get run down, but meanwhile in the bottom lane, it's another kill on iceiceice. Phase boots up on the Razor now. It looks like that was all they needed to chase him down.
Yeah, I only caught the tail end of it. Starting to see his HP dropping, but it looks like they used a full duration shackles there with most likely the damage being drained the entire time. And Static Link is just pulled down now, and they're able to get the kill in the back of it. It's a tough lane here for iceiceice, but he is CSing well, and he is getting his level. Sure, he's giving up a first blood, another kill. That's not really a good start, but iceiceice is getting his trades. 11 CS, already level 4 at 4 minutes. That is still very good progress for your offlaner, especially for someone who's getting no help, whereas Yao has had a Wisp at his side for the majority of this laning stage.
And you can see in that fight up top the power of just trying to kill the Wisp. Killing the Bristle when he's tethered up, when the Wisp is healing him with overcharge, it's just really not happening. Even with the Maledict on the Witch Doctor, he's gone for the more aggressive build, 1-0-1 early on here. The Wisp with a Sentry Ward actually take out this Observer that was blocking the Pole Camp, or pardon me, the Ancients here, but it was pretty close to expiration. That'll open it up at least for some stacks to start going. Of course, find some recovery farm for that Bristleback. Maybe not totally fair to call it recovery farm, but he actually is not farming particularly well in this safe lane. Hao is getting much more out of it, sitting 24-10 against the 12-0 Bristleback.
Well, for now, another move, this time from Vici. Smoked up Witch Doctor, wants to make that go, and maybe he does have 2 points of Maledict along with Dust. That is a very dead TA. Barring some backup for the Wisp, maybe they can turn it.
I don't think it's enough, though. The Assassinate secures the kill, and Super gets another one up on the scoreboard to make it 2 apiece here. Mid lane domination going the way of Dwarven Sniper.
Oh, you gotta be careful if you're MMY. He is very squishy. If Super has 2 shrapnel charges or an Assassinate and 1 shrapnel, he can just dive this Wisp for a kill. Right now, it's not a too. Yeah, exactly. 1 auto attack with a headshot, MMY, instant bottle charge required to deal with this. And they're gonna do a little bottle shenanigans as maybe we'll TP back. The Wisp will get a free refill. Very nice, but not worth the death on your TA, that's for sure.
No, certainly not. It looks like he will linger around in the mid lane. It seems that LGD will abandon the dual off lane with the Wisp, at least for now. MMY looking to stack the Ancients here. Will probably bottle up the 6-minute rune. See where he makes a movement to. But this is really costing their Bristle quite a bit. He's only gotten a couple of last hits since the Wisp left the lane. And opening up for the Dire supports to move around a little bit more. We've seen Fenrir very comfortable in the jungle, closing in on level 4, and they are really giving Hao a lot of space. Who has his Ring of Basilius completed now, but still hasn't picked up anything really past that.
A bit of a chase here onto Hao. He does have the ultimate, but being pressured. And now they're going to bring in 2 more heroes. They want to turn this around, but Maybe's also arrived, and they're going to dive this one, Andrew. They've got the Wisp coming in, and Hao drops quickly.
Uh-oh, it's all bait from Hao. Now Yao's in trouble as Super TP's in. It'll be a dead Bristle and a dead Wisp. Wow, well baited by Hao. I'm pretty surprised that LGD dove that as deep as they did with so many supports off the map and Super TPing in.
Yeah, for Vici, a lane ward setting everything up. They knew well in advance that the movement was coming from the Wisp, and they did not. Actually, they may have even seen the TA movement because they did have this hill ward mid. So they at least saw her heading towards the top rune, and because of that, able to get an early advance notification of an impending gank and quickly and thoroughly turn it around. There's a dive now into mid, but Super, thanks to the phase boots, is not an easy target to fully dive.
TA, now about 1,000 net worth behind the Sniper. It was a little bit more even despite TA even going down, but Super getting a double kill on the top lane. Not even assisting, but finding the last hit down the bottom lane. Hold that thought as Hao goes in onto Sylar. They get the kill on the Razor, but now maybe joining the party. Hao on the run, low on mana. Has a couple of charges, 1 more bottle charge. He will kind of juke the TA to try and zip away, but may still be doomed. On the other side of it, iceiceice on the run without any mana. The Director trying to chase him down. Hao looking for a deny into the Ancients. Come on, Wild Wings. You don't have the damage. It's a kill for the TA. And LGD will get punished a bit here. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. Razor for Storm Spirit.
Oh no, Super perhaps as well.
Is Super going to go down here? O's trying to TP out. Do they have the damage? They do not. A close call, but heads up play from Super to make it back to the well in time. Now, iceiceice, is he going to be in trouble? Not enough mana for a Timber Chain here.
Man,
by quite a bit.
They just keep on going in. One-on-one versus this TA Wisp combo. A whiff chain, and it'll cost him his life. Good rotation there from Xiaowei to bring him down.
Did Bristle kill a tree when he, or pardon me, the Fenrir kill a tree when he TP'd in that stopped that timber chain from going? This little tree right here?
He might have.
It looked like it because he threw out a timber chain, and I think it was going to hit until that TP came in. I'm not positive. It was very, very close. If that's the case, that is really unfortunate for iceiceice.
That is really unfortunate. They might have been able to dive him anyway, but it would not have been so easy. Now they're going to go look for the tower here, but counter gank coming in.
Tower's still alive, and MMY goes down first. Now the tower falls. He actually still has hit on the tower before he falls, but maybe left behind and just brought down in a matter of seconds. Roster wards have been deployed, but on the backside, iceiceice finds the Shadow Shaman, and it is just Sylar that floats away. Vici do lose their tower without a deny, but they get 3 kills out of it, including the TA. I think a worthy trade here in the bottom.
So if you're LGD now, you really got to get your Wisp to level 6, and they need to get this Bristleback involved in fights. It feels like LGD-GAMING are 5-manning everywhere, and LGD up to 1,000 gold lead thanks to that tower, but you can already see in terms of experience starting to fall behind, and they are a very experience-hungry lineup at this stage of the game. They need level 6 on the Wisp. They ideally want to get that overcharge maxed out later on this game, and they got a lot of work left to do. I think not quite respecting how willing LGD-GAMING are to throw bodies at these towers, at these early fights. To be fair, Vici don't look like that kind of a lineup, but man, they have been prepared for the rotations and punishing them as mid lane. Maybe trapped out by the shrapnel. They don't have any vision. They're going to keep on spamming the remnants, and down he goes. All of a sudden, a mega kill for Super.
Those are 2 heroes that Meld Strike won't keep you safe from, even if they don't have detection. You can just throw down the shrapnel, throw down the lightning remnants, and what's a TA to do? Well, head back to the well. That's about all she can do. That's another kill for Super. 5-0-1. Now has the Mask of Madness to go with his phase boots. This sniper is quickly getting out of control here, LD. 1,000 net worth up on the leading farmers of LGD. There's just nothing slowing this little dwarf down. Okay, let's see how the safe lane for Vici's going here. Looks like FY and Fenrir have been able to take over the lane as Hal's just moved into the jungle. Looks like he had some stacks here at the hard camp that he's taken out. FY is level 6 now, runs into Yao, and oh, he finds a bounce on the cask, sets it up for a Malice into the ult. Yao with a long range zip in. Will try to find a kill, but eats through his mana pool and can't quite close the gap. So a close call, but even now Fenrir, he's level 6, so Hal moving around has really opened up for a lot of experience for this dire side. Big ultimates now into the field.
They're diving iceiceice though. They might get the kill. Some stolen damage. Plasma field brings him down to 5 HP, but they can't get it done. He's gonna walk away.
Be dead here, LD? I don't know if this is enough.
Close call. These wards have been doing a lot of work for Xiao 8 though. He's gonna bring this tower down to about half health. They may be farmed up here at the end by your sniper. Gotta be careful not to give up too much, but that's a lot of tower damage from Xiao 8. They are making up for the Wisp being a bit behind to some extent with their Shaman. And speaking of that Shaman, Arcane Boots up. The big item they need to shut down the storm is going to be the Blink. And Xiao 8 actually on a fairly fast clip to pick one up.
So checking in on Yao, what's he building here? The beginnings of power treads, and right now just a casual vitality booster. We'll see if he ends up going for a Vanguard, but Bristleback's farm still leaving a bit to be desired here. Kind of middle of the pack, I guess, relative to the other off-laner, who is the Timbersaw. He's doing quite well. Still not really that active and hasn't found any kills yet. Yao's been very quiet, 0-1 and 0 still. As Vici rotate around and put pressure in the other lanes. Now iceiceice, he'll move to the top lane, and he's level 9. So like you said, even though he's died quite a few times, he's got the XP he needs. He goes in onto Yao, and a quick rotation is enough to force him back DP home.
It does feel like moving into the mid-game, this Bristleback may struggle to have an impact. Once they get to that point where the Storm has some good burst, Sniper, a great hero to just range him and keep his distance and just blow him out from range. And then on top of that, you've got some heavy magic bursts. You mentioned how well the Timbersaw matches up not only against Bristle, also against Wisp, who is a strength hero. And well, I would say the same is true with your Witch Doctor in your line. They have tools to bring the Bristle boss down, and I think for LGD, that's where they'll be thankful they have 2 other cores that are farming well, but they need to make sure that they keep both Sylar as well as maybe on a good path. This is not the kind of game where you can win with one carry. There's just too much single target lockdown, too much single target burst. But they gotta do it as a group, and right now, they're trying for it with the smoke. Heading towards top, looking for iceiceice.
Not the easiest gank, though. We talked about their lack of lockdown. The Shadow Shaman is with him here, but Xiao 8 needs to get in position to find this initiation. And iceiceice with a very good positioning,
Radiant's middle
good
tower
positioning
has
around the
fallen.
tower. Serpent wards come down. Dire glyph not available. And there will actually be a
Dire's
smoke in the mid
top
lane from
tower
Vici.
is
Looks like they'll
under
move
attack.
into the jungle.
Radiant's
Vici
middle
will sack the
tower
tier
is
1
under
tower.
attack.
iceiceice does not venture too close and just heads back to rendezvous with the courier. See what they can find with this smoke. Maybe. Only target they could go for. But they're going to have to dive a tower to get him, it looks like.
Yeah, he's fairly killable, but they do have to find him first, and you have to worry. I was gonna say you have to worry about the relocate, because we are 14 minutes in, and normally Wisp has level 6 by now, but he's still not level 6. It's pretty rare to see a Wisp get shut down this hard, and this is where they gotta kill off these Ancients. Less for the Yao's farm, and much more just for MMY to get relocate, man. It's getting ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, it really is. It's in a tough game for him. He just feels so squishy. I feel like every time I see MMY play the Wisp, he's just against these lineups that can bring him down so fast. The Finger, the Storm to close the gap, and even the Sniper, like we were talking about. You get one headshot, you hit him with one shrapnel, and the Wisp is down to about half health and almost in assassinate range at that point. So it's a tough game for MMY here. We'll see if he can turn it around now that Yasha is up on the Sniper. This classic build that we've been seeing oh so much on these carries. Face Boots, Master Madness, Yasha. But going to the Xiao bottom, they've got the damage. Timbersaw comes flying in and secures the kill.
And unfortunately for LGD, they were the ones thinking they could set up a little trap because they saw two heroes walking up to the hill, heading into their woods, as well as two pushing in bottom, but bit late to the party, Andrew. Xiao, he was just, I don't know, what would you say, like a second or two, maybe 3 seconds late on the TP out there. Just did not see it coming, and that is a crucial kill. Their best hero for shutting down Storm. He will be delayed in his efforts for the blink.
Actually pretty close as well, 1750. A bit closer than I would have thought here at the 15-minute mark. I guess he's getting much more out of the map than his Wisp brother here, who's still only halfway to level 5. But look at these aggressive wards from Vici. They get one here, kind of by the hard camp in the middle of the jungle, and then they've got another lane ward down in the bottom, trying to siege that tier 2 and just gauge the movements of LGD. Definitely a sign that our Dire team here will continue to be aggressors and move on into enemy territory. Even see Fenrir here with a counter ward, getting more vision control for their team.
Yeah, there's going to be that point in the mid-game where Vici Gaming probably get their BKBs. It feels like a game where you're going to need them. A lot of magic damage, a lot of lockdown that does not go through BKB, but when they do, that's going to be their big opportunity to try and strike and take over. But before that happens, there's a zip-in from Yao. Assassinates there, they'll find Xiao Wei, chaining over the top. His iceiceice as well. He almost finishes off MMY solo. Brings him incredibly low, can't get the job done though, will die to a Mel. There was a bit of a zoning Witch Doctor ultimate deployed, but it doesn't end up securing any kills, and now with Vici Gaming having unloaded all of their big spells, it looks like it will settle into a 1-for-1. A Timber for a Rasta, but the Rasta dropped his ward.
Pretty good for LGD overall. Vici did a lot of damage, but unfortunately that damage was spread across the entire team. A Finger went to Bristle's backside. He was hit by a Maledict, but there just wasn't this cohesion for Vici, where iceiceice went one way, trying to focus the Wisp. His supports went another, and just a little bit of focus fire would have made that fight a completely different story for Vici Gaming. I think Super was actually a little low on mana to start off that fight as well. So limited what he was able to do via the Assassinate to try and finish off some of those low HP heroes. But he will have a Sanjin Yasha completed now. Still picking up his combative items at this point. Not those late game farming tools, but ready to skirmish pretty much anytime LGD are looking to fight in. Now Vici just move into this ancient stack here. Looks like a triple stack, 2 golems, and some of those thunder hides there.
I'm a little concerned for LGD. Right now it's a close game. Gold, experience, very close to even, but again, it does come back down to matchups, and if this Sniper gets big enough and he picks up a BKB, Vici don't really have great solutions for that. There's the potential Blink Hex, but for a late game Sniper to get caught out by a Shaman Blink Hex, he's got to be ambushed from like the sides or just completely out of position. And again, they don't really have great solutions for the Storm Spirit later on, aside from maybe blowing him up with a fat TA. Your TA is not super fat, she's not really snowballing, she's just kind of keeping pace in terms of farm. And maybe right now sitting on a Blink phase Aquila. Has he picked anything else up? Nope. Maybe he tries to go into that Deso, but It seems like if they cannot just blow a hero up instantly with the Deso, then they're going to struggle in these prolonged fights. For now, the Bristle offers a lot, but I mean, you fast forward even 5 minutes from now, that Sniper gets his first damage item. Already we see he struggles to deal with the Finger, the Maledict. Even if it doesn't kill him, it makes him run. And then he's not really a threat to your team any longer.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems for Yao here is he just doesn't really seem to have any kind of item progression, or at least I'm struggling to figure out exactly what he wants. He picks up the Vitality Booster, doesn't go for the Vanguard, now he grabs the Ogre Club. Could be the beginnings of a Sange or an SNY, or maybe just a BKB. We'll see Sylar looking for Dire, or Radiant Ancients rather, and will get intercepted. Looks like a ward comes down as they move through, and also put down a Sentry Ward just in case they try and block it. Vici putting a lot of stock into making sure that LGD don't get free run of their Ancients, as I think they realize that that is one sure way that Yao can recover and start to become that scary bristleback that we've all come to know so well.
Alright, for now maybe just continuing to farm up the top side of the map. Looks like iceiceice holding off on his next item purchase. We have seen the Blink Dagger and Timbersaw occasionally. Normally your go-to item would be the Bloodstone. We'll see what the choice is going to be. Yeah, he will complete the Soul Booster. Looks like an incoming Bloodstone for him. And
2 Bloodstones, one on the Storm Spirit also.
The Bloodstone boys.
Yeah.
I guess with Bloodborne just dropping, they're paying their respects.
I think it makes sense here for Hal as well. He's, as we've talked about, not too much to slow him down. It stands to reason he should be able to snowball pretty decently. Mid lane was the initiation on the iceiceice, and no way he'll survive that one. A 5-on-1 in the mid lane. Now, the Goblin Shredder here just gets picked apart.
Always important to make that first Blink Dagger reveal on a key initiator count. We talk about it with Batrider. It's equally true for support, and that was the Shadow Shaman Hex in action. They catch him totally out. Now LGD making their way top. They're gonna go for a deep relocate here. They want to fight the Impale from Fenrir. Missed time, but Momoya coming in on his own. May just drop up the bat. Your cast bouncing. Death Ward. Oh, not good enough. There's a Bloodstone Suicide from Hao. It looks like he just had it completed before this fight broke out. Ends up being around the map a 2-for-1. I guess a 1-for-1 if you want to count that as that deny as a non-kill, but yeah, he does still lose a bit of gold.
A 1-for-1.5, and just as I say, well, little to lock him down. They smoke, and the one hero that can lock him down certainly does. It's a nearly full duration Shackle with some Hex action, and that'll basically start Hal off with 6 charges on his Bloodstone, and will limit a bit of that momentum. So good rotation from LGD, but is it enough? They actually have a net worth lead right now, very minor, but still farming pretty effectively, all things considered. Shadow Shaman is the leading farming support, and for Vici, it's really Super that's leading the way here. Storm still hasn't gotten enough momentum, and we'll see where the Sniper wants to go. He's invested now into an Ultimate Orb. Looks like Scotty will be his next item of choice. So for Vici Gaming, it seems just getting raw durability is the name of the game as they continue to tank up.
Yeah, for them at some point, I mean, BKB is a possibility, but the only thing that really deals with it the Shadow Shaman is the fight breaks out mid. Fenrir dropping fast here. Big initiation from Maybe. Gets the frag off the bat. Now Hal trapped out on the sidelines, but there's only the single hero to lock him down. That Shaman does the fall out. He doesn't want to fully leave the fight, though. Wants to be in the neighborhood in case it breaks out. But this is the time of the game when LGD are particularly strong. Before the Sniper gets his first big damage item, when the Bloodstones have not been followed up by true combat items. Still, they're finding pickoffs. 1 zip from Hal, gets the first. Looking for a second, he's going to jump down bottom, and what do you know? A delicious blueberry for him, to use your terminology.
TA still on the run. She'll have her Blink Dagger, and yeah, maybe will make it out. So support for support. Well played from Vici to reinitiate that and just find a quick kickoff utilizing the burst rotation of the Timbersaw. It really felt like that mech on the side of LGD was the turning point in that fight. Razor has it completed, and I think he got the heal on all 5 heroes and made that fight look a lot more one-sided than I think it actually was. Vici, however, will move right into the Roche pit, and it looks like they will be able to secure this. Roche falling rather quickly, but LGD are on their way in. Timbersaw in the front line, they'll just run straight into Yao. The relocate out keeps him alive. He gets pulled back shortly, assassinate, flying through. Not enough for the kill. The Timbersaw actually gets denied to neutrals of all things. Roche still fairly healthy at about 30% HP. Now the rest of LGD on their way in. Sylar face rushes Vici into the pit.
Oh, he's gonna 4-shot 5-shot the Wisp!
Still alive alive. Now the buyback from the Razor. Xiao on the run as Hao tries to chase him down. Low on mana here. One stick charge. There will be an assassinate from the low ground. And that'll be enough to finish off the director himself. Will the buyback from Sylar be worth it here? LG Hao in some trouble. Slips down to the bottom. And
this Roche is still low. LGD willing to throw buybacks to grab it, and they may well get it. FY trapped in the pit. There's a Maledict. They finger Yao. He's not dead, though. Wisp coming in hot. Try to keep him alive. The tether will break Yao. The bristleback not enough to get the job done, as Momoya now may also be cleaned up. A ball in. A big rush forward for Hao. Now more buybacks. Your sniper. Your bristle. Everybody and their mothers coming right back in and dying as quickly as they rejoin the fight. This time, it's the Razor's turn to bite the dust. That's a dieback for him, as well as a buyback on the bristle. Earlier in the fight, we saw that, and we're not even done yet. Ice. He's respawned after the quick death. The Bloodstone brings him back. He's now up to 9 charges. Hao up to 12. And he's accrued these before that previous suicide even cools down. They're gonna get the kill on Yao too. LGD-GAMING. One fell swoop of a fight. And if they can secure this Aegis, oh my god, they're gonna be far ahead.
Well, it doesn't come for free, but it looks like Vici does find the better of it. They burned 1 buyback, LGD burned 2, all of them on course here, but the buyback on Sniper seems well worth it. Hao, the big winner off this one, but here we go, it starts again. Fenrir gets brought down straight away, as does the Shadow Shaman. Now relocate in, they kill MMY straight away, now maybe isolated all by himself, gets the kill on Super. It's a dieback on the Sniper, may even find a kill on Hao. He does! Death ward on the high ground, it will cost him his life, but now he dies back. He's ready to get back into this fight. Roche still available for the claiming. LD FY trying to finish off these roster awards.
Unbelievable. This has been like a 4-minute Roche fight, and we're not even done yet. The Razor, who died back, is coming back into the fray. Right into his Hao. Quick zip forward. He almost insta-respawn there, but he may go down again. It's a second death. This guy just had 15 Bloodstone charges. Now he's down to 6. And we're not done. It's a dieback for maybe. Oh my god, the river runs red with blood. And still, Roshan casually healing up in the pit. He's like, does anybody want to kill me? I'm here. I'm still waiting. Come and take me, but they can't.
It's going to be a little while longer. LGD are still ready to pose the defense. Xiao 8's respond. MMY's here with Yao. They can move into the pit to contest this if Vici do actually try. I don't know if they really want to try to do it. That was so costly for both sides. No more buybacks are available, so this next fight that breaks out around here could actually go the way of Vici. Looks like TA will be stuck in the grave for another minute or so, just about 50 seconds, and that should be the window that Vici need to finish this off, as yeah, they head right into the pit. Also, Desolator has been completed on TA. I don't think we noted that amongst the chaos.
Yeah, he went straight for it, though. He is very, very squishy. Rather easily killed off. They're gonna grab their Aegis, and they will give it to the Sniper. In the end, it does turn out to be a pretty big win for Vici Gaming. Thanks to their Bloodstones on 2 of their cores, they end up losing less gold when they die. They're able to respawn quicker, and I think that, plus having their tier 1 up mid, did make a big difference for the Roche hold. And, you know, already, as quickly as the Storm was racking up the charges, he lost them, but guess who emerges with a massive pile of them? Iceiceice, 15 Bloodstone charges.
You know, it's not often you see Bloodstones have this much value, but that's one of those fights where it's just, thank Jesus we had 2 Bloodstones on our team. I mean, that is just incredible how much more quickly they were able to get back into the fight and just simply have more resources to throw at it than LGD did. Now Vici will turn up the aggression. They move into the mid lane here and start chipping at this tier 2 tower. They get another very aggressive ward down to give some vision on the other side of the tree line. It's exactly where Yao is. They see Sylar nearby. They will just slow siege the tower. Happy to put Super here and let him chip away. They'll actually glyph this when backdoor protection is on. That's a bit peculiar.
Alright, well, rather unfortunate. Vici Gaming not really the best lineup at breaking the base this early until the Sniper gets another damage item. It's maybe a bit tricky, so I don't know if that will come back to haunt them, but still not ideal. Now your tower will go down. Vici Gaming starting to cruise some momentum here at 28 minutes, Andrew. It's been back and forth, but now they've cobbled together a 5,000 gold lead, a 7,500 experience lead, and your Storm races towards a Hex. Ice. Let's see, what is that? Completed Chivas? No, Boots of Travel. will be the choice. And again, LGD, the one issue with their draft is they're almost all physical damage, and if you're able to just stack up your survivability items, then, well, how are you going to kill this Timbersaw later on? I'm just not sure they'll be able to do it.
Maybe. Scouting out the dire jungle, invisibility rune on, sees the 2 supports, clearing out some neutrals. May look for initiation here, thinking about FY will rendezvous with his friends. Instead, it's Xiao8 that goes down before his team can even really react to it. Now the long range zip in, they assassinate the Wisp. And Sylar, well, he'll BKB, and that will ensure survival. That's your 10-second BKB charge there on the Razor. So victories for Vici all over the place.
What a terrible Wisp game at this point. Like, you just chucks out the level 3 assassinate and storm zips in, you're dead from full health.
Yep.
What do? You have to, like, hide out of vision, at which point your Bristleback's a lot weaker, and, well, maybe they are going to come and siege the base. They don't even have creeps. They're still just like, you know what? Let's just work on this tower a little bit. We've got another wave coming in. It's not
Daryl, you can tank it, right?
I would hope so. With the Bloodstone, with the plate mail, he's a beefcake. LGD now trying their best to hold the high ground there, split pushing slowly with their TA, but even with the Deso, it seems they will be forced to come out. Come out and play, LGD. Vici Gaming are getting lonely here. They're gonna take your tower if you don't.
Headshots coming out left and right onto Yao, and still the slow siege continues. The Snooper here just laying into the tier 3 tower. It's going to go down in a matter of seconds here. Hex on the iceiceice, survive. Yao showing off that BKB into the front line. But now the zip in, the death ward from the low ground. Finger on the Shadow Shaman. That'll be the first death of this fight. Vici looking to be in good shape. Now they get MMY. Yao very low into that thing to slide through. Timbersaw commits suicide, but it may be the only kill that LGD find this fight. He's already respawned, ready to come back in. Maybe dies despite being hasted. And the BKB and Sylar will get down to the well. It's Vici to take it.
iceiceice dying for their sins. The Bloodstone deny ensures Hal survives. I think they had it anyway, but just a little cherry on top, a little salt in the wound as Vici Gaming calmly and confidently crushed their way through LGD in game number 1. Last series was a 2-1 win for LGD, but it's going to be